So guys, morning and welcome. I've been doing a lot of these actually with loads of different industries, but in particular estate agents. Just very briefly, if you've not heard of me before, I've actually helped just over 10,000 negotiators and valuers for the last 14 years. I've worked with some of the corporates like LSL, but I've also trained pretty much the leading independent agents all over the country. And what I'm going to share today is ideas of what the top negotiators, valuers, branch managers all over the country and Europe are doing now during lockdown. Because as Simon touched on, now is the best opportunity to work on your business and to work on yourself. So I'm going to share with you 7 ideas, 7 strategies that I know if you take action, I promise you, not only will you thrive out of lockdown, but you'll actually start to do very well in lockdown. Because the truth is, we don't know how long this is going to go on for. So rather than sit and wait and do nothing, which I know some agents, for whatever reason, are doing, now's your chance to get that competitive edge and advantage over your competition. And when I'm working, I focus on 2 things in my business. And this is what I'm advising all my agents to think about, is what's income generating and what is opportunity generating. Because ultimately they should be the only 2 things right now you're thinking about. What is earning your business income, or what is creating opportunities that should lead to income. And if you can focus your time on those 2 as a priority, you will arrive now and out of lockdown. And set goals, because I used to follow an amazing motivational speaker called Richard Denny. And one thing he said really resonated with me. He said, if you don't have a goal, you can't score. And I don't know about you, but I hate those days when you walk away and you think, you know, how was today? And you say it was all right. It was the same as yesterday. Those days really bug me. So I rather set some achievable goals. They're still challenging, but they're achievable, because otherwise it's just a dream. And I set myself at least 3 a day. And I'll give you an example. So yesterday, one of my goals was to reach out to at least 2 old inactive clients to catch up. How are they getting on during lockdown? And then on the back of that, to see where I can best help and serve them. So, you know, set yourself key goals. One goal might be every day from an existing vendor or landlord. One goal could be to reach out to a landlord to talk about their buy-to-let mortgages and when they last reviewed. I'm going to talk about that later on, but have clear goals that you're striving for on a daily basis. And dress for work. I'm not saying you need to put a suit and tie on, but you know, if you're sitting there in your pajamas, whether you like it or not, subconsciously it will affect your outlook and potentially your productivity. So dress how you want to feel so that you can be the best version of yourself. But it's really important to eliminate as many distractions, because it's so easy to sit on Netflix for 5 hours. But, you know, it depends how serious you are about your business, and really what your goals are, why you set the business up in the first place, and really remind yourself of that. If you don't have a business plan, that's something to be looking at right now. And I create amazing mentors who I know is part of the Property Academy. And I'm happy to share a 1-3-5 structure. So it's a 1-page business plan to really work on your business effectively. What about your business? Now, to really help you bounce back after lockdown, hopefully a lot of you will have this, and if you don't, this to me is a must. I want you to think about a knowledge Bible for your business. So imagine the scenario. Imagine you're speaking to a vendor. The vendor walks into your branch or phones you up, and it's a husband and wife. And the guy says, you know, he's thinking of selling. And he says to you, you know, what's the market been doing the last 6 months? Are you confident every single one of your team could answer that question? If no, you need a knowledge Bible. You need to have market insights on what the market's done in your area for the last 6 to 12 months. You need to know average rent for a property of their size. You need to have an idea very quickly so you can demonstrate your expertise and your knowledge. And then looking at it slightly differently, imagine a buyer walks in who's thinking of moving to the area, and the guy says, you know, I'm a golfer and his partner says she does Zumba classes, and he says to you, where's the nearest driving range in the area? And he says, my missus loves Zumba, where can she do it? Again, could your team answer those questions? And if the answer is no, you need a knowledge Bible. If you're going to really be perceived as the local property expert, how are you going to do that if you don't know the locality? So my suggestion is create a knowledge Bible for everything in your area. And some of my clients have 18 branches in different areas. Create a knowledge Bible per branch. And you want to really have an understanding of all the local amenities, the gyms, the restaurants, blah, blah, blah. Build this Bible. And then what some of my best clients do is they do a knowledge quiz every week. They'll ask their team 5 questions that come out of the Bible, just to make sure that they're not just giving it to them, they are learning and retaining this information, and make it in a fun, relaxed manner. On the back of that, to prepare you as valuers, I don't know if any of you remember the great game Top Trumps. I used to love that game as a kid, and I still play it with my son now. And I actually, fun enough, train the UK license, who the only company allowed to sell it. They're called Winning Moves. Great business. And what I do for my business and my agency clients is I create top trumps for their business. So think about your competition that you come up against on evaluation, be it for a vendor or a landlord. What are your trumps? What are the things that really stand you out heads and shoulders above your competition? And a fun way to learn that is create your own top trumps, so your team understand what your unique benefits are. And that's a really big point there. We all talk as agents about our USPs, but that's very much about you. I think it should be your UCB, your unique client benefit. What are they gaining from you? What are your differentiators to really make you stand out? And once you understand what makes you stand out, and your team understands what makes you stand out against your competition, my recommendation is design 10 questions that you can send to your vendor or landlord prior to evaluation, and those questions, it's something like 10 questions to ask your agent on evaluation. And they're going to ask you them, so you're prepared and ready. But they'll also ask your competition, who they're going to be also seeing as evaluation. And the key point about this is the questions should be designed to highlight your strengths and your competition's weaknesses. As an example, some of my agents, for example, great agent Manning Staten I work with in Leeds. Mark Manning's great entrepreneur, and he has 19 branches, and all of them are multi-linked. So actually the truth is, he says to his vendors, we've got 19 offices, which means we have 121 negotiators potentially that will be selling your home. So question number 1 you could give a vendor is, how many negotiators could be selling my home for me? So when they come up against their local competition that have got 4 negotiators, now the vendor gets why you command higher fees. So design those 10 questions around your business that highlight your strengths, and that should go in your knowledge Bible. Again, what I do in my knowledge Bible is, whenever I do sales calls, I record them. And these are prospective calls to prospective clients. I record the Zoom call, which I'm doing a lot of now, and I record the phone call, and I keep those as a library in my knowledge Bible for my team, so they can listen back, review my phone calls just to learn from, and obviously we do it as a coaching exercise. So at least twice a week, we listen back to those calls that I do and they do, and see where can we develop, where can we all improve. So tip number 2 is build your sales Bible so you learn, grow and develop as an individual, but build your knowledge Bible so your business is ready to thrive, and your team, you're upping their knowledge across all different areas. Now, some of your vendors or landlords, you're going to know really well. You're going to know what they do for a living. Now, let's say one of your best landlords that you manage their portfolio, and let's say they run an accountancy practice, you should have a Google alert set up about their business. Now, if you've not come across Google Alerts, it's quite a genius. You go onto normal Google and you go type in Google Alerts, and it will set up a filter system where you enter your name and email and ask, what do you want to be alerted about? So all of my 211 clients, I get alerted about on a daily basis. and my top 50 prospects that I want to work with. So when one of my clients opened a new branch quite recently, I sent them a bouquet of flowers and a congratulations card. So what I'm showing them is I'm in the know. I know what's going on in their world, and I care and I'm interested. And I do the same to my prospects. So when I hear they've merged or someone's joined their company, I know about it. So do that with your clients. Understand, once you know their business name, set up a Google alert. So for example, if one of your clients wins an award in their business, you can send them a branded congratulations card. It's just a nice touch to stay in the forefront of their minds. Again, to appeal to different people, you want to create different types of content. You've got to be doing videos. That's where the world is. And there's a really great company, Property Video Solutions, run by Chris and Matt, and Chris Watkins. That those three geniuses help agents with their video content, and they've created a really good Facebook group about it. I think it's called the Estate Agent Video Group. But they'll give you indications. But you want to be walking around your town, your locality, and creating videos showing future buyers and sellers your patch, and maybe share some interesting facts about the area. Your website, it could go in your newsletter, it could go in a blog. The other videos you want to be getting is video testimonials. So many people don't have these, but I would be reaching out to all of your vendors and landlords and getting testimonials from them. And just say to them, can I ask a small favor? They'll say, and most people say, of course, my pleasure. Say, look, I'd really love your honest feedback of why you chose us in the first place. Could you be so kind to put that in writing, or could you do a quick 30-second video and make light of it? Say it doesn't have to be a Spielberg production. I just want 30 seconds on an iPhone of why you chose my agency and how you think we've best served you. So you're leading them to give you that. And you should be creating, I call it my success library. You should create a library of success stories in your agency of why they work with you, how you best help them. The more videos you've got, the better. And that could go out I do a Tuesday testimonial. So every day I try and theme my social media content. So I do a Monday motivation, I send a quote. I do a Tuesday testimonial, I do a Wednesday wisdom. I've got no idea for Thursday, Friday. So if you can help me, I'll be all ears. But come up with themes for your business just to make it easy and consistent. But definitely be getting a testimonial every week out there, video in particular. And the line that I use is this: when you talk about how good you are as an agent, it sounds like you're bragging. But when your clients do, it's proof. So the best way to persuade and convince is what's called social proof, and also known as a third-party proof. You want your clients to talk about how bloody wonderful you are, not how you say how wonderful. You're never going to say you're a bad agent, are you? So you want your clients to talk about how fantastic you are. Of what can you be doing to win new instructions. So two big things I want to share with you, ideas that I help my clients with. Look at the people you've registered in the last 6 months on your database, all the buyers and all the tenants. Then I want you to look at how many of them were renting a property in your area. Hopefully, whoever took those phone calls, probably your frontline, your negotiators, would have found out that they're in rent accommodation in your patch. If they did, look to go back to them and get the landlord's details. You've got to be careful with GDPR. So the way around it is to say, we want to reach out to your landlord because we want to see if we can help them with their property, but we do need their permission. Please, can you ask for permission for us to call them? And then you're completely safe with GDPR. And then reach out and see, number one, have they let that property again? If not, you can help. Number two, do they have other properties? Are they tenanted? If not, you can help. Are they looking to buy any more? You can help. Are they looking to sell any of their portfolio? You can help. And finally, do they know any other landlords that you can help? There are 4 or 5 opportunities. And really, as agents, you should be jumping on that on the initial call. So what I train my clients to do when they qualify a buyer or a tenant and find out they're renting in the area, I teach them a way to get those landlord's details. If they know them, which they don't always do, 30% of the time they do, I teach them a way to get the landlord's details, get permission to contact them, and then they phone the landlord, turn that into an opportunity. Here's another way to think about, and this is quite old school, but I believe because it's old school, it works. Every time you sell a vendor's property, anytime you find a buyer a property, give them 50 branded cards. Give the vendor 50 branded "We're Moving" cards, stamp them for them to get them to send out to their friends and family and have your logo on these branded cards. Because think of the cost. It's probably going to cost you a maximum of £70 to give them 50 cards each vendor who are very likely to send them out to their friends and family, and you guarantee one will be living in your area, and I'm sure a lot more than that. Now you've got your brand in front of potential vendors or landlords where there's an opportunity to serve them. And you can equally do the same with your buyers and get the buyers to say, look where we just bought, and they send that to their friends and their family. And if you want to save money, do it via email. Create the email card, which is even easier, but I don't believe it's as powerful. It can be deleted, whereas a physical one, they might keep fridge. A lot of people use cards, by the way. I know my mum does, and that generation still use them. So it's still a great opportunity to think about.